Good morning, everybody. So CR Metals, we're a diversified producer with a growing copper exposure in Peru and in Mexico. We're listed in Toronto and in New York and in Peru. Our forward-looking statements. So just a quick snapshot of our mines and where they're located. We have the Yauricocha Mine, which is located in Peru. That's primarily, well, it's not primarily, it is a diversified mine. We have a lot of zinc, copper, silver, some lead and gold coming out of that mine. We also have the Bolivar Mine and the Cusi Mine, which are both located in the Chihuahua state of Mexico. Bolivar is primarily a copper producer, but we also have some strong silver and gold credits coming from there. And soon we're going to have iron ore coming from there as well, as we have a lot of magnetite in our tails, and we're in the process of installing a production plant there to concentrate the magnetite through magnetic drum separation, and we by next year should have some iron ore production also coming from there, which will add an additional revenue stream. Finally, we have our Cusi Mine in Mexico, which is essentially 97% silver with just a touch of gold. And you can see the revenue breakdown there on the right. The majority of our revenue comes from copper, some from, which is 36%, 25% from zinc, 24% from silver. So essentially, we are focused on base metal production with precious metal credits. We're a growing mid-tier producer. We're focused on green and steel-making metals. We have strong copper and zinc production. We have a solid balance sheet to support our growth. Successful history of building mineral resources. We are operating in well-known and established mining jurisdictions. We have an operating management team. Luis Marchese, our CEO, built the Quellaveco porphyry project from permitting to community relations right up to construction before he came and joined us. And we also just instituted an annual base dividend of about 3 cents a share, which is yielding currently about 1.5%. Our strength right now, we're positioning ourselves as a mid-sized mines with a production of no less than 30 million copper equivalent pounds. We do open ground or open pit. We're based in the Americas. We focused on well-established jurisdictions. We're currently focused on organic growth, as you'll see when I come up in the next couple of slides, that we have some excellent organic growth opportunities and excellent mineral concessions and properties. But we are not shy of M&A or partnerships and greenfield exploration JVs. We're primarily builders and operators, but again, we'll consider JVs for the right opportunity. Our pillars to growth is we're continuous, after a strategic review, we're continuing to strengthen our current operating portfolio, through safety, operational excellence, production, and new technologies. We are working on our project development in terms of improving the projects that we have in the pipeline. We are getting back to, after a tough year of COVID, back to exploration. We have many near-term site targets. We have a lot of greenfield exploration. We have partnerships that we're working on. And then finally, we're focused very much on ESG. We have completed our baseline studies, and we expect to have a full ESG report coming out, so that's a typo, should say 2022. And we want to work with our communities. We're doing things like reforestation. We're moving, already in Peru, most of the energy that we get from the grid is over 50% from renewable power, but we're also moving to institute and bringing in some solar panels as well, moving to battery-operated equipment for less emissions. So there's many programs that we have in place. The company is focused on growth. You can see in 2021, we're producing at about 9,800 tons per day. We've completed 3 PEAs. We're working on the PFSs now. The one for Bolivar should be out before the end of the year. The ones for Bolivar and Yauricocha and Cusi should be out before mid-2022. And where we're going to be going here is we're doubling production at both of our Mexican assets and increasing our Peruvian asset by about 50% production. So we're going to see a significant upturn in productivity and metal production as we come into the 2024-2025 period. And how we're doing that, these are the PEAs that we have out on that. You can see on the top line the total NPV for each of the projects, the NPV for the expansions on the next line, as well as the IRR and the operating costs, which are very favorable, as well as the mine lives. And so, these are very solid platforms on which to continue on with these very excellent economics. How are we doing that? Also, we're continuing to drill. In 2020, we added almost 30 millions of tons of resources to our various mines. As you can see, we've continued to explore and through the drill bit, expand our mineral resources on each of these properties. And this is going to continue to support expanding the mine lives and further expansion at the mines. We also, as I mentioned, have closer to our mines additional upside and near-term potential. So you can see at Yauricocha we have Kilkasca and Tucumachai, which we just received permits for, actually sooner than we expected to. Some people with the new government in Peru were a little bit worried that there was going to be some problems. If anything, we found it's actually working better for us. We weren't expecting these permits until early 2022, and we received them about a month ago. So we're actually starting to drill on those near-term possibilities. At Bolivar, again, where our current operations are, we have two other areas that are La Sidra and La Montura. La Sidra has been explored before, has a lot of high-grade gold and silver, as well as significant copper grades there. And so we're going to continue to drill that out, and we can bring that into the mine plan very quickly. Again, in Mexico, we have multiple properties. We have over 90,000 hectares of concessions on very good properties, and we're going to continue to drill on that, as well with some of the ones that are not core, we may consider joint ventures on those. Looking at our production and guidance, we are guiding between 110 and 115 million pounds of copper equivalent production. So far, we produced 82 million pounds for the year. We are guiding our EBITDA this year between 105 to 110 million, which is about a 10 to 13% growth over last year. And that's despite all the significant issues we've had with COVID this year. Our corporate structure, we have 163 million shares outstanding. We have $58 million in cash on hand. We have 28 million in net debt. We do have research coverage from several shops in Canada and the States. Significant shareholders. Our price has been on a tough quarter. As you may have seen, our third quarter results were a little bit tough. We did fall behind with COVID. We were missing about a third of our workforce, and our drilling has fallen behind at Bolivar. However, we now have most of our workforce back. Our vaccination rates are closing at about 90%, and we are hiring extra staff to catch up on the drilling. We expect in a couple of quarters, Bolivar will be back to running where it should be at expected grades and tonnage throughput. Finally, our financial position, we have so far in the year, $209 million of revenue, net income of $7.3 million, adjusted EBITDA of $85 million. We've spent about $53 million in CapEx, and we've had free cash flow of about $8.3 million. And so we believe the story is well suited for growth. We're getting through some of the problems that we had with COVID. We are expecting to see the Bolivar mine come back up to expected operation in the next 6 months or 2 quarters. Yauricocha and Cusi are already back on track and fully staffed. And we continue to move forward with our expansions. So catalysts are the upcoming pre-feasibility studies, return to operations in 6 months, as well as upcoming expansions starting in 2024 and 2025. Thanks very much.